I remember Urooj called me and she said, is he giving you costumes? I'm like, it's audio.
And here we have uncut evil tracks.
So Karan called me and he said I'm the heroine of the whole thing. So I said yes.
You are.
He said the same thing to me.
I haven't tried to tone it down or be subtle with it. It's out there and I like it that way.
So we added no value, guys. Just saying.
No, I was sure.
He said that many times. He said, Kunal added no value. Man, sound like
First of all, thank you all for contributing to this. I think the flavor that everyone has added with their voices, it's incredible. 2019, Urooj, if you remember, we were doing that chat, the other side that I had shot with you at Kharghar, right? Is where you recommended Big Mouth to me.
Recently I saw Big Mouth and I really liked it and it really stayed with me. Because I saw it recently, so it's in my memory. But also I genuinely really liked it. It's written by a lot of comedians. Nick Kroll, John Mulaney, Maya Rudolph, Jenny Slate, they're all in it because they're the voices of, it's animated, they're the voices of the characters. And it's about a bunch of kids who are going through puberty. So they all get a hormone monster that helps them navigate their puberty.
And that's when the idea kicked in that, I have access to artists, comedians.
you can make.
And there's so much of that happens in the West, but I haven't seen that in India as much, or maybe I'm not exposed to it.
No,
It hasn't actually.
So that was actually one.
So what did that inspire you to? Specifically animation? It inspired.
It opened up the idea that I can pitch it to artists that I know.
Yeah.
What a fun nugget.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I had this wish list of working with all of you. Shashwat's voice is something that I find really, it's very unique, it's very distinct.
It is very unique,
right?
yeah.
It has like a North Indian essence to it.
Like you could totally sell Patanjali, I feel.
I do actually. If you've seen the ad.
We have some here. Bring it up.
So I wanted that contrast in English and Hindi because Abish, the voice that you have, it's so suave and very cool.
Yeah.
And I got to know.
You could sell hair gel.
Hair gel and Patanjali.
Yeah.
That's the contrast I wanted.
Or Patanjali hair gel.
This is the two Indias we were talking about.
Patanjali doesn't have a hair gel yet. Waiting for it.
So I wanted that contrast in both the languages. So that's why I wanted two different voices for the narration. But for the characters, I wanted some kind of semblance. So I wanted the same voices for English and Hindi both.
Right.
So that's why.
Man, I'm really impressed with the English accent. I was like, oh, he can only do an American.
Then he did.
And then you did Hindi. I'm like,
this
guy.
And equally villainous in both.
Yeah.
And fun. Fun villain.
You seem like a nice soul inside.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I remember when he had told me.
I'll tell you. So I'll tell you the idea why I went to each one of you. Shashwat, I've been following Number One Bullshit since a long time.
Right.
You mean to stand up?
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah.
So I really felt that that this voice can be used in a more interesting way.
लेकिन पुनर्जन्म का कुछ क्राइटेरिया होना चाहिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे ही एक जन्म में मरो तुरंत दूसरे जन्म में पैदा होना होगा. गैप नहीं हो सकता. ये नहीं कि अभी 25 साल की उम्र में मरे और फिर 25 साल का ब्रेक लेने के बाद फिर पैदा हुए. फिर लैग बहुत हो जाएगा. जब तक फिर से 25 साल के होंगे तब तक पिछले जन्म के सारे लोग मर चुके होंगे. फिर ना बदले का स्कोप बचेगा, ना माँ का प्यार बचेगा. कोई फोटो देख के पहचान भी लेगा तो लोगों को लगेगा कि ये लुक लाइक है.
Abish, again, been a big fan of your work.
Thanks, man.
And through the years, as an artist, whatever you do, just wanted your voice to be in some of my work.
Thank you.
Sometimes I feel like a boy, sometimes like a girl, sometimes like both, and sometimes like neither. That is my gender identity. It could be different from my gender expression and my biological sex.
Abhishek actually is we worked together on a bunch of music videos. He has a band actually. So we've done a bunch of music.
So Nair is part of my band.
Yeah, Mahesh has done the music.
So it's like, why have I seen his face on an Instagram face on when Meher put it?
And he had put out his voiceover show reel, I think in 2019, 2020.
Oh, yes.
So I heard that.
That's when I was freelancing into the voiceover.
Yeah.
I quit my job.
And in that show reel,
So you're a professional then?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got one professional.
Yeah, one professional.
he's done jingles,
But why
etc.
you stopped and all?
No, because life. So
Yeah,
I had to get back into the whole job scene. Yeah.
Job scene.
No, so I saw his show reel. and he had put out English and Hindi samples both.
Nice.
But in the Hindi showreel, he used the word पौष्टिक, like खाना बहुत पौष्टिक है, and I was like, what?
He's the guy.
He's the one.
चिंटू और मिंटू की भूख को मिटाने का एक ही सोल्यूशन है माँ के पास जनाब, XYZ चिप्स, जो टेस्ट के साथ साथ अपने बच्चों को दे पोषण.
No, so I remember I had quit my job back then because I was just bored and tired. This was during lockdown. And then I wanted to go into the whole freelancing space. But very honestly, I realized that I have to slog a lot. And I'm very lazy that way. And at this age, I was not ready to start all over from the beginning.
Right.
We have to go through the grind. So after 9 months of chilling, I just was like, okay, I'm
You mean freelancing? I remember your call to me. You told me that you're like, hey Kunal, so I remember during the other side, I mentioned that I'd really love to give my voice to an animated character, and that was how you started the conversation.
That was so.
I remember you said this. So hey, guess what? I'm doing an animation.
Yeah.
Come on board. I was
so
like, yeah, let's do it.
You put it out there.
I put it out there.
Hi, my name is Kunal and I am a writer, and I wish that once in my life I could lend my voice to an animated character. I often feel that I have learned more from pop culture than from actual life, mainly because artists have this uncanny ability to identify and capture concepts that we struggle to express into a short cinematic or musical moment.
On the other side, I remember when I was talking. Oh wait, I haven't done that.
Season 2 is
We
around
have
the
some
corner.
tension in the room. And this makes for a good panel. Let's get a reel out of this.
Varieties and
So yeah, that was my thought behind casting each one of
So are
them.
you doing season 2 for this?
yeah, then 2027.
Hopefully
Follow the
sooner
same
than that.
time.
That's the way with animation we've seen.
Yeah, but I'm glad that I was able to complete. And I remember both Abish and Kunal mentioning, like Abish said, I've done a bunch of voiceovers for animated pilot shows, which never saw the light of the day. But I'll do it for you only on one condition: just make sure you make it happen.
Yes.
You made it happen.
Yeah.
I was watching all six episodes.
Five.
In Hindi and in this. So, our Hindi way better, comes out much clearer. Lots of exposition in the second and third episode. When the characters get introduced, it gets more dynamic. One thing I'd say is that just remove the dialogues, because the music is so good that in silence, I think it plays out better. Otherwise, it becomes a little expositionary and stuff. Because I was like, the music is so good and mix is so nice that reducing just from the because it doesn't affect the animation, it just adds a SFX layer maybe that to mix.
Like, don't say she grabbed him by the collar. She just grabs him by the collar while the music is going on. Like
But
that, is that what you're saying? Got it.
Just grab by the
No,
collar.
it's also
But
for
I
people
don't-
who can't see.
Yes. You mean the audiobook?
Sorry, you were saying, what is your
I'll tell you, my approach in terms of writing this has been, it is as mainstream as it gets for me also.
Yeah.
I haven't tried to tone it down or be
Right.
subtle with it. It's out there and I like it that way.
It's nice, yeah.
Because I have grown up on comics which were, it's like this. I remember I had a long conversation with Kunal also. Because we had done the voiceover, I think, in 2021.
Yeah, we did the English one in 21 and the Hindi one in
And
like a
he-
year
he
apart.
called me
You
like,
took a year to
I
learn
took,
Hindi.
I took a year to learn Hindi. I rehearsed that for 364 days and then I was ready
So
with the
proud.
6 dialogues.
No, I remember he called me 6 months after we did the English voiceover.
Yeah.
He's like, what's happening? Just general, catching up. And where is the animated series? So we were only 3 episodes down by then.
You made me sound like, I don't know, like, hey, where is it, man? What? I was like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
everything
that.
okay? Like, kaisa? I'm not like that. Like, kidhar hai? Tu bola ki hone wala? Aisa nahi.
No, I'm saying in a very positive interaction that I had with him. He's like, just make sure that you're not extremely nitpicky about it. You're also doing it for the first time. So make sure that you complete it.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Done is better than perfect.
fine tuning karke
Yes.
itna time lag gaya ki complete hi na ho. So just make sure that whatever you have, even if there are some things, if it's 99% there, just run with it. Otherwise, like a lot of ambitious projects never get
I
completed
said
for
this
that
word.
reason. Yeah.
Wow, I'm wiser than I thought, man. I didn't realize that.
You do all of this by mistake. Are there Easter eggs in the movie that?
I feel like
people
we're
say-
interviewing Karan right now.
What is the format? That's a good
No,
question.
Yeah.
because generally people do that. Na? They'll put, like, I saw what movie recently?
Marvel?
नहीं हिंदी मूवी वो कौन
दूल्हे
सी
राजा।
डार्लिंग
Darlings.
नहीं मोना
Monica, my darling.
Monica, oh my darling. And they had like a lot of Easter eggs, and when you watch it the second time, you figure them out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
in
there are some
animation,
Easter eggs.
there are
Easter eggs in this also. Like, you know, year 330K.
Right.
It's nothing. It's my birth date.
Ah.
March 30th and K for Karan.
Right.
So just put in a bunch of those.
Very
things.
narcissistic. We don't know about it because we
That's
have
no
no
wonder you have to be.
Yeah. Also, I really like the.
A huge shout out to the sound. And I talk like this. I always speak like that. Could you tell us a little bit about the music and who did the music and also?
Abish, could you turn down the reverb, please?
Increase the volume, the bass is fine.
Yeah, man, huge shout out to the music crew.
Yeah, the
man.
music
Yeah.
is great.
And I used to
Music
get
is
great
so
job
good.
in that.
You should release it separately, like on like.
I want to
Something so we
speak
can-
to him.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him. We'll maybe have like
I could
an
see myself
OST.
like working to it, like in the like you need non-verbal
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
like playing
Yeah.
in the background when you're working. and it's
Reading,
just great.
walking.
Perfect.
When you
We
bomb
can do
at an
that.
open mic.
You listen to music.
Yeah, I listen to villain music as I walk back.
I think now one by one we can get started with your what you thought of the idea when you heard it initially for the first time, and then what was your process about? If like Abish can start, and
Yeah.
then we can all.
When you told me that you're doing animation, I was just like, that's having done just 3. It's the most expensive, labor intensive, and you can't do control Z on it as simple as non-fiction.
Yeah.
So when you had said you were doing that, I was like, fucking awesome. Whatever you learn, I want to be part of it because I want to learn how you did it and then do it myself.
Nice.
And through the process, you kept telling me how you did it. So I was also getting to know. When you asked me to come on board and do the entire voiceover, I remember just doing the voiceover, completely trusting he knows what he needs. So that way, it was probably the longest I have done anything with that baritone, and the amount of cigarettes he asked me to smoke. I was just like, so by the end of it, then he kept sending me screenshots. I was like very excited to see what that comes through. I hadn't heard any of your voices. I had no idea that it has been casted. And then when I hear that, only when the characters came, I'm like, oh my god! Now I get to know what the story is. So yeah, it was very cool. Our late night calls just to be like, should I do it that way? Should I not do it that way?
Yeah.
Am I dressed well enough for you, sir?
Yeah,
Sorry, sir. I'm
Even
wearing a very self-obsessed shirt.
Oh, nice.
In the midst of this mundane life, young Torrentino fell in love with a girl, Snap Insta. She was a social media influencer. He thought he would finally be on set of the good times in his life. After persuading her for the longest time, she finally agreed to meet him. I love you were the first words he uttered. She smirked. You're a nobody. I'm a million. Excuse me, you're a nobody and I have 1 million followers. How many followers do you have? How dare you even ask someone of my range? Saying this, she walked off. That day onwards, Tarantino became hysterical in his frenzy for internet validation. Started his madness.
I feel like I might have interfered with a lot of his creative flow by saying, I should be doing like that. He's like, just shut the fuck up. I'm like, sorry, it's a professional trait. I have to give feedback as a professional.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me on this.
Thank you. Yeah.
You were a
remember,
wonderful narrator.
We did a bunch of readings, Zoom calls. I think with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we recorded actually. We were supposed to do this on your Blue Yeti, but the background sound wasn't. Yeah.
And we did also. I have on my Google Drive like that one recording scratch that we had done.
Yeah.
And post that we came back and did the voiceover at Island City Studios.
Yeah. Island City. Shout out to Island City, which was like a great. It's a great facility.
Yeah.
And Abish recommended that place to me. So thank you for
Thanks
that.
for the commission. What?
We can move to Shashwat.
Yeah, I remember. We did a one take thing. Went there, I did some cocaine and one take over. It was incredible. He wanted some husky voice, so I ate a lot of some those sharp stuff. And then we did good fun. And for the first time, I feel like I've never done voiceover before. And this is good. And I feel like I can go from here and do other projects now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And I feel like after this, I'll get a lot of work. I'll have to travel, but it's okay. That's part of the job.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
I think you should just build your own studio in your house. I think it's just
I
worth
can,
it.
but I feel like then other people should get an opportunity to work. If I'll do everything, then where do other people come?
He's a star.
We'll feed into. We'll take money from you. That's okay.
With Shashwat also, we had done the entire narration
Yeah.
at his home studio on a Zoom call. But
And now serious, I made so many mistakes. I was there and that guy in the island studio. After I think the 7th or 8th take, he's like, "Oh, yahi jo aakhri wala hai, aakhri wala
What
sahi hai,
kind
aap
of
jao."
mistakes? Like pronunciation?
No, just the tone and
I remember because I had just come in for my shift of recording and he was leaving and the studio guy was like, I think we should give Shashwat a break because his voice is tired.
प्रॉक्सी टॉरेंटिनो पुराना पापी था। उसने अपनी शुरुआत छोटे मोटे मामूली कामों से ही की थी। जवान टॉरेंटिनो को अपनी उबाऊ जिंदगी के बीच एक खूबसूरत सोशल मीडिया इन्फ्लुएंसर से प्यार हो गया।
जिंदगी को अपनी उबाऊ जिंदगी के बीच, that is one. बीच के बाद pause ले सकते हैं। I think you also had like your tooth had chipped off or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I chip a lot of teeth.
You did a good job.
That he chose narratives on the basis of chipped teeth.
Yeah. Oh, you too. Nice. It shows.
It
you
shows.
can hear
There's
it.
a special gap of extra frequency.
Slight
given.
lisp. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we did 3 episodes with the voiceover of 3 episodes, and then the studio guys like, let's give him a break.
You did like 2 takes or 3 takes, and your script is really long.
It's very verbose. Like for you, it's a lot more verbose.
And I don't like to talk that much, so then.
Of course you don't.
Nonsense.
Number one.
Yes.
Yeah, but a lot of fun. Also, I mean, it's very tough for me to do stuff like that. So, given that, I feel like it was.
You did a great job.
Yeah, no, not that, but for me to be able to do that was great.
I mean, like, this is probably the most amount of words without a punchline that Shashwat has done.
छोटा बेटा टिंगू, इस देश में हर कोई उसको मारना चाहता था, लेकिन किसी ने कभी कोडेक से ये नहीं पूछा कि उसकी बहन निकॉन कहाँ है। यही जरूरत है दोस्तों, इस देश की यही जरूरत है। कोडेक ने टोरेंटिनो से जंग की तैयारी शुरू तो कर दी थी, लेकिन खत्म नहीं करी थी।
I actually saw you were doing a podcast with Chirag where you said that you mentioned this.
Yeah.
That I voice for an animated series, but I don't think they're taking my voice.
I felt the same because you come in and you're saying, "Oh, you're only in the 5th episode." I was like, "What? That's really unfair. Why does everybody else get like 5 episodes?" I thought he just hated me. I was like, "Let's minimize Kunal's time just in case."
नहीं, but मुश्किल भी है ना, मतलब मेरे हिसाब से मुझे लगता है कि इस काम के लिए फिट भी नहीं था, तो चांस की बात है वो आ गया उसमें अच्छा है।
No, you're pretty. This, like I was saying, just listening to your voice on this, it stands out in the mix only.
Yeah.
No, he asked me to make it deeper.
It is, but it.
Oh, that's your
it's
deep
still-
voice? Oh,
Yeah.
But he also made it deeper.
The thickest I could
Frequency,
go.
I
otherwise.
feel like when this is also low and then
Yeah.
I wouldn't
his
do
opus is here. It's like a nicer, calmer narrative.
Yeah.
I like it.
Interesting.
Maybe it's self-doubt that I don't like my voice, hence I like
Everybody,
it.
I hate my voice. Yeah.
But that's the reason I didn't want like a heavy baritone voice for the Hindi narration, because the script, like the writing, the way I wrote is a little too out there. It's a little filmy.
Yeah.
Right.
So imagine like a Vijay Raj or an Amitabh Bachchan voice would make it caricature-ish.
Correct.
So that's why I wanted like a distinct voice like yours
Yeah.
to do it, so that it's not,
Cuts
it doesn't seem like it's mocking itself.
Yeah.
So that.
Yeah.
I worked with Vijay Raj. His thing is, he's so seasoned now कि वो एक take पे ही सब कर देते हैं. It's crazy how well he can do it.
Urooj?
So Karan called me and he said I'm the heroine of the whole thing. So I said yes.
You are.
He said the same thing to me. Fucking liar, you've been calling everybody heroine.
You're also a heroine, but just in personal attitude. I'm off the show. And that was it. I was sold. He's like, you want to hear the story? I was like, no. He's like, do you want to know what? I was like, no. Am I the main character? Yeah. So I said, just tell me when to come to the studio. And that's where I found, no. And seriously, you told me what the story was. And when you told me the story, I really liked it. I thought it was really funny. Because on paper, when you read all the gangs of like 404, Pop, Error, Cryptopur and everything, I thought this is just funny. And then when I saw the animation, I liked it even more.
Yeah, this changes a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Because in my mind, I thought it was a bit more cartoonish. Because there were so many jokes, right? But then I saw the animation. And it's of course cartoonish only. But it's more sleek. So I think it looks cooler now. And it's got
cooler.
jokes in it also. It's not just like jokey. So I think that was that. But when you told me about it, I loved it. I was into it, dude. I don't know if you like my voice or not. But
No, I did.
I'm
I
in.
wanted.
Excuse me.
It's also the first time that you're doing a voiceover, right?
Yeah.
Like for an animated character.
Yeah, I've never done
Or
it
anything.
before. I really liked the mother's voice because I was like, that's how I generally talk.
Yeah.
And then,
You talk like a mother?
No, I talk like an influencer.
Oh, right.
She's an influencer. And she's like, oh my God. Yeah.
So for Snap Insta, we've actually pitched it, I think, a couple of decibels higher.
Oh, you changed the... Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
To have a separation in the voice
In the
also.
voice, yeah.
So we've done that in post.
In Urooj's, in codec,
Encoder, yes.
Kodak and Kodak.
codec encoder, Urooj's voice, have you pitched it down?
No.
Because that's genuinely that part. I was like, this sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made it had to
That
be more
was
serious.
live. That she
Yeah.
had done live.
Yeah, it's very
For
good.
Snap
Very
Insta,
good, yeah.
we had, I pitched it.
Pitched it
a
up
little
on.
higher.
Yeah,
couple of
that makes
seconds.
sense. मैं Snap Insta Rise Den की बेटी हूँ. Codec and Coder. Whereas I have millions of followers online.
Got it.
Got it?
Cut. We is done.
I remember Urooj called me and she said, ki, is he giving you costumes? I'm like, it's audio. Dude. I'm like, oh, she was getting prepared to go.
I was like, who's doing your hair and makeup?
Relax, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Kunal?
Moving to Karan.
I just like, same thing, like he called and he said, you want to do an animation character? I was like, yeah. What is it? Sorry, whatever, just send it, I'll do it. Like, I'm on. It was like a no-brainer for me. And it was also, I realized it's like, for me, like I said, I'm only in like 4th and 5th episode, like very few lines. So, look, there's hardly any commitment. But I think the main challenge that we faced was when he's like, Kunal, I'd like you to do the Hindi voice also. I was like, what? Me? Are you mad? Like, no, that can't be. Luckily, we had a year for me to rehearse for Hindi.
Yeah.
So I did that. It's still a pretty big fail, but...
No, it
I'm
works quite
kidding,
well.
I'm kidding. It was fine. It was fine. I practiced a lot. I genuinely practiced my accent a lot.
I know.
And I ran it by a few people. Like,
He
no,
went
like
to
this started-
Dadar.
I
Yeah.
moved to Dadar actually literally from
And now
Churchgate.
he's,
So,
teaching a workshop.
yeah, on
South
voiceover,
Bombay,
yeah.
South Bombay.
On voiceovers.
Who's buying those?
अगर तुम्हारा साथ मिल
No, I really
जाए.
enjoyed it, man.
He's teaching Hindi to South Bombay people at Marine Drive.
We'll put this video, we'll put this animation and then be like, for a workshop. Join here.
I enjoyed it.
Torrentino is the super boss, and Clear Cache is the mini boss. To eliminate Clear Cache,
Can we also enunciate on first? We
first need to eliminate.
Yeah.
First need to eliminate. Okay. I'll do a few, huh?
Yeah, I think we can go more shrill also.
For sure.
Yeah, more.
What is the
high-pitched.
second half of the sentence?
Yeah.
I remember on the day of when he gave me the script, I remember we sat down and I was like, hey, when I was saying this out loud, I don't like this
Yeah.
rhythm seems off. So let's like, can we reverse? Can we make this passive? And we sat on a few things and we're like,
wow.
yes, no. And then I felt that really made me feel part of the process because something that was more natural for me to say. Because when you write something, when you say something, there's two different. So that felt really nice, and I like playing around with the voice a little bit. Like that was fun. Like, but of course, your voice was just like super. I don't know whether you put that on or is that who you are normally?
No, I put that on. For me, I think he had called me randomly and told me, "Arey, this is the animation series and all I'm making." So I was like, "Yeah, man. Oh, I'll do it. Let's do it." And then we had booked Pickle. I remember.
Just his voiceover.
Dude,
was
did we
that.
like laugh a lot during that session we did, right?
Yeah, too much fun.
Yeah, man. It was a lot of fun, and I think he had to like tell me also, "Arey, like to change it and all." Because I think I was going like ape shit, right?
Yeah.
With the voice, it was like a villainous character. I was just all going mad. I was doing like crazy things.
Put it on Patreon with just like a 1 hour recording of what he's done.
Do you have the mental acumen? All I mean, it was like fun while doing it.
Trust me, it will be your privilege. You've killed my entire crew. That's proof enough of your physical strength. But do you also have the mental acumen to beat me in an online game?
It was great. I think, we laughed out too much because instead of saying
I think I was abusing
क्यों
it.
क्यों डर गई की जगह ही kept
फट
saying,
गई?
क्यों फट गई?
I think you should have kept it.
And I think that time
Outtakes, come on.
I was using the whole gully boy this thing also. Like the
Oh, bro, that's the character.
अरे भाई
ये चाकू तेरे पास कैसे है रे? तुम फुलान उसी की तरह दिखती हो.
Yeah.
What about you? When did you call yourself?
I actually did all the scratches for all episodes for the animatics to happen. And my voice is so flat when I'm looking at the first drafts that I sent to Rifat.
He used to repair routers for the local cable operator at the start of the century when Cryptopur had just been introduced to the internet. इस शताब्दी की शुरुआत में जब क्रिप्टोपुर में इंटरनेट नया नया आया था तब टोरेंटिनो एक लोकल केबल वाले के यहाँ राउटरों की मरम्मत किया करता था.
But yeah, that really helped, you know, me also understand the process. And yeah, just that I couldn't cast myself in it.
Yeah, not even one character.
No.
Could you not Easter egg just one or something?
That I
Not
think-
all the
If
villain scream.
you gave Clear Cash
Do the
one
will.
line, you could have done that line.
It'll be
Just
me.
like one line.
Clear Cash is my voice.
Okay, next segment. All of us do one impression of what Clear Cash would have done.
What's the line?
मैं तेरी माँ को बाप को मारूंगा. I feel like this is what
Urooj,
you
what
sound
about
like.
you for Clear Cash? Perfect.
Just concentrate every time you kill someone.
How will Clear Cash say excuse me?
Excuse me.
What are
have to go.
What are your favorite lines? The ones that you have done. Maybe you could do that.
Oh no, 3 years ago. How would
I know.
अभी
Yeah.
देखा ना.
Mine was excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's it.
Yeah, that's also my favorite. Excuse me. That's my favorite.
As a professional, did you like his voice?
Yeah. I'm not a professional.
Hey, you're not a professional. That was very
No,
good.
man, I'm
For an
not.
unprofessional.
I just started doing videos because
But
somebody
you made a
told me
showreel.
that the showreel I made because somebody told, Ari, I think you're good at videos. So that's so I just
And
made that.
I
for
would
that.
agree with that friend of yours.
Yeah.
You should just keep doing it as
Somebody's
hobby.
right.
Nice, man. Thank you so
And
much.
because like again for me like after seeing this I'm like oh wait I'm actually capable of like much
Correct,
more
correct.
than I think I am and I think
Correct.
that's
Wow.
true for you for most of us over here
Correct.
except for all the egotists but otherwise yeah.
Egotists.
Oh yeah, no, I
I
was
think we're more
like,
capable than we think we are.
when I saw mine, I was like, it's exactly what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
And I've done it.
100%.
I've peaked.
We gave feedback कि ऐसे करना चाहिए.
Yeah.
मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ घर कब जाने को मिला. When does this thing?
Yeah, same. Even mine was not whatever Karan said. I blindly did it. He's
Yeah.
like, do like that. I was like, done, sir.
But I think you were recording first, right? Like I got to listen to like
Yeah.
one draft, the first draft of
Right,
everything, and watch like just a sketched animation. So I knew where we were. So I got to play off your initial voices actually, which I don't think everybody.
Yeah, because his was interacting to with our character,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
You didn't get to interact with my voice.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
She chose
I
not
only
to.
had
She's
to-
like, I
She's
don't want
like,
to do that.
can't be in the same
I'm
studio.
a heroine, god damn it.
Also, hubahu. I would have never used that word.
Yeah.
Like,
What
in
was
actual
your
life.
favorite line?
Hubahu is my favorite word.
Favorite word.
Yeah. My
How
favorite.
often will you get to use?
Dude, I've never used it in my entire life, and I just heard it, and I realized that I must have recorded it for you. But
You're like, where did
I enjoyed saying. I enjoyed
Sometimes
saying.
ये something like use करना है कहाँ गया?
my favorite line is
like?
my inner thought. मैं तुझसे प्यार करता हूँ.
हिंदी वाला is very funny.
really connected with me? मैं तुमसे प्यार करता हूँ. And I love you. I was just like, I don't know. He'll leave me.
He prepared it 5 times. मैं तुमसे प्यार करता हूँ.
How was the creative process? Were you running the lines in your head?
He went and he fell in love with someone.
Yeah.
He was method.
That animation is very
Yeah,
hard.
I'm in love with Asnani. You were there only.
प्यार करता है.
मैं तुमसे प्यार करता हूँ.
For mine, मैंने अपने माँ बाप को मार डाला.
Ah.
Just to prepare for the role.
Oh, yeah,
खुद ही
sorry.
कि किसी और के through.
नहीं, I got him.
Decided.
She's like, ये नहीं मारेगा. That guy can do it.
Kunal, what was your favorite line?
I enjoyed saying he and I have some unfinished business.
And then the zoom in.
And there's that
Yeah.
punch in.
Oh.
That really felt good. Like when you punched it in the video, that was good.
I love the laugh also at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We took like 6 takes of that. I had like 6 different laughs for like the classic evil laughs. Yeah. One
you
was
give a
Basie, one was like
Can you give us a few variations?
The ones that didn't make it to the track.
And here we have uncut evil tracks.
That was one. And then we had that was
Maniacal,
one.
yeah.
And then there was, I think one was where I started from the high and I went down like,
Oh,
right?
nice.
And there were a few more. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Get the footage of the original tape.
Not so great. Do one more.
Yeah.
You've opened a Pandora's box.
Also, I did takes in the voiceover in English and in Hindi. So there's like
How did you
16
laugh in
takes.
Hindi differently?
You laugh in Hindi. You're like Ashok Kumar.
I've never thought of it that way.
The last guy, the third guy you did high pitch to low pitch.
Yeah.
It sounds like this guy has a tumor in his head. I've heard a guy laugh like that.
It would be weird if I. No, never mind. Let's not go there.
Thanks for tuning into another episode number 1 bullshit. I don't know, there's no favorite part as much as just I like my voice. Suddenly I was just like,
That's what I'm saying. We're all so much more capable than we think we are.
First 15 minutes, I'm just listening to my voice and like, thank you for tuning into my podcast. This is still there.
It happens.
I know that my humor is, very dry. So how do you guys, what did you think of the humor in the script? And
हमारा भी dry है भाई.
No, I think it's
हमारा
clear
कौन
like
सा
you.
गीला humor है.
I was very
done,
proud of you for having jokes.
Yeah, you've done all the right word plays and you've used like the internet you've played with that universe of internet and animation. It's great, it's fun. It works.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Karan jokes?
And
And then I was very happy with it. He's like, hey, make a joke. And it was good jokes also. I liked it. I think it was a good balance because when I read it, I told you, when I read it on script, I was like, okay, maybe it's like very, very jokey. But I saw the animation and I thought
it
it's
wouldn't
both.
work with very jokey.
Yeah, like it's a good mix. So I like that.
I agree. It had to be dramatic at times. It had to be just a narration में था. तो same plain, but sometimes jokes. So I feel like the balance makes
is
it.
good.
It really works for this script that, that is your sense of humor.
Yeah.
So you wrote something that is in line with how you joke.
yeah. But is it tough for you guys to like read off another person's humor because you guys do it on a daily basis? Is what?
No, but you were really like you explained the tonality
Yeah,
really
you
well.
explained it very-
And you were saying isko aise bolo ya isko joke mat banao. You
Yeah.
just do that, right? Because you know the whole thing.
Like you have the directorial vision of what joke might work, what joke might not work.
Yeah.
So even when you are doing voiceovers, it's in pieces. So we don't know what the joke is. As a comedian, if we know this is a punchline, then we kind of lay up to the
Reach.
here. We are just shooting. We don't know where the net is.
Yeah.
So if the joke landed on paper or if it landed in life, that's how we get to know. Like there are jokes that we do at open mics at the first time. It just seems so verbatim that I feel like, itne sare words maine dale. But then the next time when I do the same at an open mic, that gets stripped off.
Got it.
Yeah.
And probably just the punchline of it. That's why I'm like, for this, I was like, if I go into the studio one more time, I know where the punchline is to
Make it land, yeah.
Make it land
Yep,
or get
I
it
agree.
there.
I was going to ask you, like,
So
would you,
for it-
after watching the whole thing, actually, I want to ask both of you, actually, all 4 of you. Because
Thanks.
after watching this, do you feel like going back into the studio and fixing a few things or changing a few things?
I wouldn't want to redo any of the voiceover and graphic animation, anything.
Yeah, just
because I
sing,
think with films in general, my opinion is that you're documenting time also, right?
Right.
What do you mean?
Like
when it was made.
2020 में मेरा ये skill set था,
Yeah.
and this is what I did as the best that I could do.
It crystallizes who Karan was at that time, and the
Yeah.
next season will crystallize
I
you
wouldn't
to
forget
that
the
time.
You're
artist
talking
in
about the story
work
and
about, we forget the artist's point of view.
Even I consider
would do
the
this
writer's word in the Bible.
Oh.
So I just follow it blindly. Me and Amitabh.
Would you say you're a writer's actor?
Bhattacharya.
Amitabh Bhattacharya, yeah. He's acting in mine, very similar.
I have a question for you. Other than Shashwat, who was the most difficult person to work with? Out of the remaining people.
Fair, good question.
I think he was quite smooth with everyone.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Out of where your vow you will say now.
No,
No,
थोड़ी
genuinely.
बोलेगा भाई.
Even Shashwat, once he was in the studio, he was just
it was just on.
accepting all direction that was coming.
Yeah.
You're the bad boy of this group.
Yeah. The thing is, I knew what I wanted.
doing.
So I think everyone, like all of you trusted me with that.
Did any of your vision change after you brought somebody on board?
With
Like for example, did you hear, for example, Abhishek's voice and say, "Oh, okay, I want to change the character a little bit now because his voice is," or you're just like, "No, let's go." with it?
No.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I was sure about.
So we added no value, guys. Just saying. It was
No, I was sure.
He's said that many times. He said Kunal added no value. Man, sound like a man.
I was very sure of each of your voices. So, and
He had an Excel. It's like value after 0. He had one.
value cool.
because animation also works, it works backwards. Like this is the last step that we had to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had done, like I had done my storyboard, Rifat had done her storyboards and illustration and animation, and that's when we were getting into this. So
Nice.
yeah, at
Good
no
job,
point
man,
did I
overall.
doubt my choices. Yes.
I think just finishing it also is just an achievement by itself.
Yeah, good
because
job.
like it's really hard to do. So I can imagine how much you
Nobody-
pushed everybody. Like
These guys are just, I don't know. Hey, how did you come up with the idea of that dagger? It was very small for somebody to behead somebody. Could have been longer, I think. So why that
So it's not the size, it's how you use it.
No, but this, you have to behead someone.
There's a backstory to that. Like
Yeah.
it's part of his walking stick.
And it's part of the second movie, huh?
It is.
Huh.
So it's part of his walking stick, and
He takes it-
He
yeah.
takes it out because no one knows that there's a dagger inside.
Right.
But only Torrentino, before he dies, he's like, "Where did you get that dagger?" So Torrentino has seen that dagger somewhere.
Okay. And now we'll know.
Now we'll know.
Interesting, nice. See, that was the
Oh
way.
yeah, that's true. I thought there might have been in the first part somewhere that the dagger, but
no,
I
maybe
didn't know
season
the
2
first
is a
time it's-
prequel.
Also, why is this most
Backstory.
important key on his face? Like, should have been like a little bit more hidden, like somewhere.
No, right? Because you don't suspect.
Because he's such a big villain who's obviously
It's
picking.
that hiding in plain
He's
sight
yeah.
thing.
You don't suspect
Oh, he
something
makes
that's
it
right.
very obvious कि अरे ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता है.
Only Pop knows about it for some reason.
ये पिज्जा डिलीवरी बॉयज हैं
हाँ, only
रात में ये बाइक पे जाते हैं चोरी करते हैं धूम धूम I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, that's about it from me. Anything else that anyone wants to add, please?
No,
What
man, just
other
enjoyed.
kind-
That's it.
please.
I just enjoyed working on it. I'm just glad I was able to give my voice to a character, and like it was just great working with you as usual. So yeah, fun, man.
Yeah, I think the animations are like really tough to do. So like when any projects like this come in, I get really excited to do because I
Yeah.
really feel like as an industry, I think animation and people who are interested in it aren't able to tell more stories. So put it out. I hope more people.
Also, it's just different from what we've done before. Like it's just
Yeah.
fun to do something that's different.
Yeah.
Just anything different.
Same for me. Like it's been like a driving force through the last 3 years. So whatever projects I do outside, like commission work, I save some and keep investing in this. I don't know what I'm going to do after this.
Season 2.
2.
But it was really like fun to work on this. And now that I've seen the result, it's like
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
also something I can show off about.
Yeah, absolutely.
This looks better than what I imagined it will look like. Yeah, the animation is very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Oh yeah, I see the dagger now. It's small only.
Small.
Cool. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
Thank you so
us.
much.
Thanks for having us. Yay!